It's difficult to conjure up an image of Australia without including the kangaroo. Although the word can refer to over 60 different species, when we say kangaroo, we are usually referring to the bigger ones. Eastern grey kangaroo, the western grey kangaroo, and biggest of all, the red kangaroo. The indigenous Australians had used kangaroos for food, clothing, and tools. And kangaroos featured in art and stories long before European settlers arrived. When they did arrive, they were shocked and amazed by the animal. What's this, some kind of jumpy dog thing? They became particularly fascinated with the way male kangaroos sized each other up, taking a stance which reminded the new settlers of a boxer. It's a national symbol in Australia and is a famous image around the world, the boxing kangaroo. Though most of us would probably consider it cruel today, some people at the time decided they would capitalize on this and spar with the kangaroos. After putting gloves on it, of course. Don't want to get smacked with them claws. One of the first kangaroos to become famous as a boxer was Fighting Jack, also known as the marsupial warrior. In the 1980s, Jack squared off against his co-star, Professor Lenderman. Supposedly, the kangaroo was taught boxing by the professor. According to some sources, Jack was originally purchased as a pet by a woman named Olivia Main, and she would teach him tricks as a pastime. When training Jack became too much for her, she sold him to theatrical entrepreneurs, the brothers James and Charles McMahon, and they introduced Jack to Lenderman. Jack and Lenderman sparred each other in Melbourne for 6 weeks before moving on to Adelaide, drawing large crowds to each match, usually twice a day, and after that they toured Eastern Australia. It seemed the McMahon brothers planned to tour the US since the rise in the popularity, but unfortunately, Jack died. They soon began touring again though, this time with another kangaroo, and they gave him the highly original name, Jack II. He too, however, did not stay alive for very long, and then Lenderman met his third kangaroo partner, John L., named after the boxer John L. Sullivan. This time, they did make it abroad, and drew large crowds in London when the man faced off with the kangaroo. The spectacle of kangaroo boxing was fast becoming a craze, not just in Australia, but across the US, UK, and other parts of Europe. The image became so prevalent that it even spread to animated shorts, further cementing the idea of a boxing kangaroo. Apparently in the Second World War, Australian fighter aircraft had boxing kangaroos stenciled onto some of their planes. This was to help distinguish them from the British aircraft. Now, circuses and travelling sideshows would keep kangaroos to box, sometimes with clowns and sometimes with professional boxers. Sometimes they'd even be put up against celebrities like a young Woody Allen in the 60s. It seems from this video, the kangaroo is scared and doesn't want to be there. Practice continued on after the 60s though, and other celebrities would box with a kangaroo, usually as a publicity stunt for humour. Nowadays, the sport is much less popular, though it hasn't stopped completely. The fights that I've seen footage of generally seem to be more of a humorous stunt than a real fight, but it still seems kind of cruel to have a kangaroo in that kind of situation. It's also dangerous for the person. The kangaroo isn't really a boxer, but more of a kicker. It uses its hands to grab its opponent before delivering a powerful kick with its legs. It is quite strong, and with claws on its hands and feet, the animal can be quite dangerous. So maybe it's for the best that people boxing with kangaroos doesn't happen so often anymore. Thanks for watching.